There's a lot of arguments for a lot of teams at number 4 tonight. I think we all know what 1, 2, and 3 are going to be. Who would you put at number 4 tonight?
Well, if you go with the recency bias of Bama losing at home and not looking like a top 10 team in the first half, especially the final couple minutes of it, then you could put Oregon 4th because their one loss was, neutral field to Auburn week 1. And even if Auburn's not going to be in the playoff, they're still a solid 2-loss team that's scratching at the top 10. So you could put Oregon there. But I would not be surprised at all if, as a result of the rally, as a result of human nature and some tradition, if Alabama is just gone from 3 to 4 in those rankings tonight. But I would say either Alabama or Oregon. I would have trouble putting Georgia there at this point.
Now, isn't that problematic if they keep Alabama at number 4? Granted, in all likelihood, they wouldn't have a 13th game unless LSU collapses here. But if that's the case, then Alabama could stay at number 4, I guess, up until the championship weekend, and perhaps even at that point slip in. Wouldn't it be problematic if Alabama could look like that in the first half last week and still stay within the top 4, only drop 2 slots?
Absolutely. First of all, it could be problematic, but Alabama's kind of been the king of the team that doesn't get to the conference championship game, hangs out on the sideline, and then gets into the playoff because everybody else takes on too much carnage, and there's separation in other conferences or within the SEC like we've had in the past, where Georgia flipped the script on Auburn in their SEC title matchup, and Alabama ends up beating Georgia in the championship game for the whole thing. So, the committee's different every year. But we had that year where TCU was sitting pretty in the 3-hole, and everybody was quacking about the TCU-Baylor game, and all that unfolded. And then when the final rankings came out, TCU had been dropped all the way to 6th in the final week. So things can change. They can elevate teams for winning conference championships. Although what they still do is people think that conference championships get you extra points. They don't. It's only when they can't decide between 2, 3, or 4 teams, and they're trying to figure out, okay, where does this team have an edge? Was there a head-to-head meeting? No. Well, they were a conference champion. That should count for something. But otherwise, it's one giant eye test. And Alabama benefits from it being an eye test, as do any programs who are, traditional powers or have players and even coaches who year after year deliver. So, we've seen Ohio State get in when people said maybe they shouldn't, and we've seen them get left out at the same juncture. So, you could make the argument that Georgia could have been in the playoff last year as a 2-loss team, just based on being one of the 4 best teams or not. So it's a big puzzle, and some people miss the computers. I don't, and I prefer it all being human